Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. Here is a diagonal Sudoku puzzle that was created by the great Indian author Ashish Kumar for the recent WPF Sudoku Grand Prix. This puzzle was one of the highest pointers and I didn't have time to try it during the contest. I had time to try it after the contest, obviously, but I remember it was quite the struggle. So the special rule of diagonal Sudoku is that apart from the usual rules of Sudoku, you must have all digits from 1 to 9 on both diagonals, the diagonals that have those dashed lines that you can see here. So 73 points, that's quite a lot, and I was a bit afraid of this puzzle because I usually perform very poorly on diagonal Sudokus. So where do we look? Let's have a look at digits that already are present in the grid with lots of digits. You can see that on this row 9 must be somewhere here. And let's have a look at the diagonal. 9 is not in any of those cells. So 9 is here. So that's a digit. That's the only place on the diagonal. And we can place this 9 as well. And then we can place the 9 in here. So we know that on the diagonal, on the other diagonal, 9 is in none of those places. It has to be here. And I guess we already have all 9s in the grid. No, there's one left over here. So that's a 9 sub. I don't even remember seeing this when I solved it after the contest. Right, where else is interesting? 4s come in numbers. No pun intended. So there's a 4 here. There's a 4 there. So what about the diagonal? Not sure. Only 1 is that restricted on diagonals, I think. Not quite. 8. 8 does not appear in here. So there's actually an 8 in here. The nice point is that we don't have an 8 in here, we don't have an 8 in here, but it can still be in 4 positions along the diagonal. So that's not saying much. 2 and 4 do not appear here. So we only have 1, 3, 5, and 7. I usually don't pencil mark 4 candidates in a cell, and I won't do it actually, but 3 candidates have. I tend to do it quite often. This 7 is interesting because it's in none of those cells. So we know 7 must appear on one of the diagonals here. One interesting thing to do in diagonal Sudoku usually is to find the digit that is at the crossing, at the intersection of both diagonals. But here we know very little about that. So that doesn't seem to be very useful. Something that is more useful is that those 2 4s and this pencil mark 4 say that there's a 4 in here. So 4 is on none of those places on the diagonal. And that is starting to be interesting because on this diagonal, 4 is not here. It's not in those places. It's not in those places. So 4 only has 2 places on this diagonal. And so let's just pencil mark it that way. And because there's a 4 in one of those 2 places, there's not a 4 in here. And because of this, there's not a 4 in here. So there are only 2 places for 4 in this region. So now what about this diagonal? Oh, so if 4 is not here, it has to be there. I'm not sure I can do much with that. I really don't recall what was the real break-in when I sold it. Well, I stopped this babbling. I'm trying to find if there's something else to do with force. Probably. So 4 here. What about this diagonal? So 4 can't be in any of those positions. But it can still be here, here, or here. Can it be at the center? Let's just try. If I put 4, oops. If I put a 4 here, now if I put a 4 here, then 4 does not appear in there. It must be somewhere here. It must be here. So we remove 4 from all places here. And because of that, we remove it from there. So it's here and it's here. And there doesn't seem to be any issue with that. And there's a 4 there. So 4 at the center seems to be very powerful. 1 and 5 are not here. Those are from 2, 3, 6, and 8. That's completely useless. And that's the reason I often skip diagonal Sudoku in contests. So what can this be? Only 3, 5, or 6, I think. What digit is restricted with the diagonal, or just with the grid as a general rule? What if 4 is not on the diagonal? I should ask, because we know that 4 is not here. If 4 is not at the center, let's assume that 4 is in here, in which case 4 is here, then it's here. Oh, that's nice. So if 4 is in here, it goes here and there. And why is it nice? Because we know that on the diagonal 4 is either here or there, and if it's not here, then by geometry it goes there. So we can pencil mark that 4 here is in one of 2 places, so we can eliminate this place for 4, and that is a certainty that 4 goes there. Perhaps I should explore further the various options. If I put the 4 in this scenario that I was just exploring, then we know that on this diagonal 4 will be in one of 2 places. No, that doesn't seem to be that powerful. This option is not that interesting. So what do we have here? 2, 3, 6, and 7. Oh, what we have is that 7 is in here. So none of this is a 7, and this is a 7. And because of this 7 and this 7, we get a 7 here, which places the 4 here and the 4 there. And on this diagonal, 4 has to be here. Beautiful. And with those 4s, we get this 4 on this diagonal. And do we have all of them? The last 4 is here. I can remove this candidate. So that's some kind of breaking. The interactions between 4s and 7s. And now this 2 here is not in here, it's here. So here we have 1, 3, and 5. That's a 6, 8 pair, but there's an 8 here. This 2 here bounces to be here. That's 1 3 5 triple and the 6 8 pair in here. And 1 5 no, not no 1 5 1 5 3. So that's a 3 here and 1 and 5 in here. So that's a lot going on all of a sudden. Here we have 2 6 and 8. This 2 goes there. Here we have 3 6 and 7. And the second 1 or 5 comes here. And those are from 1, 5, and 3. Right, let's have a renewed look at the grid. Hopefully, let's have this. So 2 is not here, 2 is not there. And because of this 2, 2 is not here, so we get a 2 in this position. Now, with those 2's here, we get a 2 here on the diagonal. So 2 is not in here, and with those 2's, we get a 2 either here or there. And down there, those 2's. And this here, they put a 2 in here. This is also not final. We already have 4 digits on this diagonal. So what are the missing digits here? 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7. So this can only be 3 or 5, and we get a pair on this row. So we need 2, 7, and 8 to complete the row. So I was saying 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. 5 candidates here, not interesting. 5 candidates here, not interesting. This column needs 3, 5, 6, 7. So this is 3, 5, or 6. 5 candidates here. This column needs 3, 6, 7, and 8. 8 is not here, and 7 is not here. So this is 3 or 6. This is not 7, so this is 3, 6, or 8. And actually 7 on this column must be here. Nice. This column still needs 1, 3, 5, 6, and 8. So 8 is on the diagonal. I said this column, I meant this diagonal. But what I just said doesn't seem to be very useful. But I tell you what is useful. This column needs a 7. It's here. This row needs a 7, but it's not here. It's not here. So 7 is here. This diagonal needs a 7. It's not here, it's here. Now I get this 2-8 pair, which places a 7 there. And I guess we have all 7s in the grid. That's correct. This row needs 1, 3, 5, and 6. This is from 3, 5, 6. And in this region, 8 can only be here. So 1, 3, 5, and 6. And I'm seeing nothing. Well, there's still some work to do, obviously. But something I'm noticing is that none of those is a 6. So 6 on the diagonal is somewhere here. It's not here. So that's a 3. And that's a 6. And that's not a 3. So 6 is one of those. That's not a 3 either. This row needs 1, 5, 6, and 8. 6 is not here. And 6 is not here. And 6 has to be here. So I was saying 6 is not here because of this 6. And 6 is not here because there's a 6 in one of those two cells for the diagonal. So that's not a 6. And on this row, 6 is here. So that's 3, that's 6, that's 5, and that's 3. So no 3 here, no 5 there. This is 105, and we get a 1-5 pair here, so that's a 3. With the 1-5 pair, we still need 2, 6, and 8. That's neither 2 nor 6, so that's 8. And that's 2, and that's 8, and that's 6. And that's not 8, so 8 on this row goes there. We need a 1 and a 5 there. So we get a 1-5 pair on this diagonal, and this becomes a 3. 5 and 1, 5 here, 1 and 5. So this one now makes this a 5, that's a 1. We're getting there. This is not an 8 because of this, so that's 2. Up there we need 1 and 6. We don't have them. Down there, oh, there's a 2 pencil marked here, but there's a 2 here. And we must finish this diagonal. It needs a 3. So 5, 3, 5, 1, 6, 8 in here, and that's a 1. 6 and 1, and 6 here. So that's it. That was definitely a tricky diagonal puzzle. But it was, well, it deserved the 73 points, and I think the rating was fair. So maybe I should have tried this puzzle during the contest, but I chose to do otherwise, and I'm reasonably satisfied with my performance, so no harsh feelings there. But regarding this puzzle, it was very, very well constructed, and no surprise there, that's Ashish Kumar. So thanks for watching this video. See you soon on SudoKanard.